Right, welcome to episode 2 of the Strength Season RX podcast. We're here with Sara Wall, not Sara Khan, newly married, my younger sister, aka the Fit Pharmacist on Instagram. And I need to start this episode with a bombshell, a groundbreaking confession from me, which is Sara's better than me at CrossFit. Yeah.
Groundbreaking.
Do you know how, like, in Star Wars, like, Yoda was the best, and then he trains Luke Skywalker to be the best, not including, like, Darth Vader and all that kind of stuff. She was the Padawan, now she's, like, the Jedi Master.
How long do you think it took for that to happen?
Ages. I think
you're
so.
talking
only
like this
only
is
recently.
in the last 6 months.
This is a very recent thing that's
this
happened.
This has been at least 2 years.
No, disagree. Totally disagree. Anyway, Sara, briefly introduce yourself for anyone that doesn't know who you are.
So, my name's Sara. I am Amir's youngest sister. There's a 10-year age gap between us.
And
I
my bones and muscles know about that as well.
I work full-time as a mental health pharmacist and prescriber. I also coach, do CrossFit on the side, and yeah, that's just fitness and CrossFit.
And we are fresh off yesterday competing at the Arena Games, well, at least like half of the competition, which is a weird one to explain, but we'll go into it. So we both work with Maxi Nutrition and Innovate, wearing the shoes today, really nice shoes, and we've been preparing for the Arena Games, Team of 4 in Manchester. It's their second ever event. Really cool new comp in the UK where they just hire arenas. So instead of it being like a warehouse or like a gym somewhere, it was in like the AO Arena, middle of Manchester, beautiful venue. We got there, we did 2 events, and then on the 3rd event, catastrophe.
Yeah, it was...
Catastrophe.
Ash was our second male team member, and it was like 2
synchro hang power cleans. So you had to do, me and Sara did 25 synchro hang power cleans at 60-40, and then Izzy and Ash were in the middle of their synchro hang power cleans 60-40, and just lower back went. Don't know, I've not spoken to him today actually.
He's okay.
He's okay, yeah. He's not like, it wasn't like a major injury like broken bones or anything like that, but literally just something in his lower back went, couldn't carry on. I jumped in to do a couple of reps, being like, oh, I'll finish off his set, then me and Sara will go back on, thinking, oh, he'll probably be okay to carry on, but he wasn't okay. So I ended up doing double the men's work, which is why I feel like I've been through a blender today.
What weight is like Grace and Isabel at?
So it was the same weight for men, 60, but slightly under for you guys, because you had 40 and normally it's 42 and a half.
But you basically did double reps. It was 50. No, 75, right? 25, 25 times 2.
Yeah, 150 barbell reps. R.I.P. me. But it was a good day out, right? How did you find the Arena Games?
Yeah, really nice setup. In comparison to like other comps, the warm-up area is quite big.
Yes,
I thought.
I thought that as well.
And the rig space, there was plenty of room. You went like heat by heat into the warm-up areas.
Yep.
I think that flowed really well.
Yeah.
It's nice not to feel like rushed or behind.
Yeah. Ran on time, which is a big thing for CrossFit comps. And then I've not watched any of it, but there was a full like professional live stream.
I think it was on YouTube.
You can go back and probably watch and it wasn't like some person with an iPhone either. It was like looked really, really professional, really good.
And all the volunteers as well coming out onto the floor, they really like hyped you up. So you like got a full run out and experience, and that felt kind of cool. Yeah,
it's definitely a big thing, I think, competing in like I said, the arena, like a big stage, as opposed to it being like a warehouse or a CrossFit gym. And you know, I think CrossFit competitions are notoriously really, really hard to run and get off the ground. And I thought yesterday, for their second ever event as well, I imagine loads of stuff potentially went wrong in the back side of things, but you never saw that in the front. It ran really well, looked really smooth. So shout out the Arena Games team. CrossFit then. I obviously know these answers to these questions, right? But when did you start CrossFit?
It was in COVID, so we were locked down. I was just finishing my degree in pharmacy, so you sort of do your exams and then you have summer off. So came back a little bit early because of COVID and was locked down here at our parents' house. And I think we sort of like maybe naively thought that it wasn't going to be that long, and it
Yeah.
obviously turned into a lot longer. But you ended up coming back
Yep.
for a couple of weeks,
Mhm.
which ended up being a lot longer.
Uh-huh.
And because you worked at JD, you had like bought kit home.
Yeah.
So we had like a dumbbell, a kettlebell, and like really just to like pass time in the day. We were like, oh, let's train at 10 o'clock in the morning, and like a couple of us or other would come outside and do like a little, I guess now I know what CrossFit is. It was a lot more like functional fitness, like an EMOM kind of style.
Yeah.
But that's really where I started learning about what CrossFit was and what moving
It was this weird like perfect storm where like our parents have like a lot of space, and then I was running a gym, so I had access to kit where a lot of people didn't. And then it was, remember, it was like that sunny, hottest summer like ever for a long time. Like didn't rain for like months and months and months. So every day at 10 a.m. we'd come and train in the garden, and it would literally be like a couple of dumbbells, a couple of kettlebells. We had like some boxes, but they were like metal containers. Do you remember? I don't know what they were.
Yeah, they were like troughs that we
I had a
turned
bike
upside
erg,
down.
so I had a bike erg, and randomly I bought a GHD. I don't know why. Sold it since, but so we could kind of piece together bits every single day, and yeah, we just trained super hard for like an hour a day. But like you said, it wasn't like structured. It was just to waste time because I was furloughed, not in work. Were you?
I was on summer.
You on summer?
basically,
Yeah. So like we were kind of just all like just trying to get through COVID, and then. Before CrossFit then, what were you doing for fitness? Obviously you played rugby at university, right?
Yeah, I played rugby at uni, never played before uni, so I found it quite late. And then before that, I actually did figure skating
Nice.
for a lot of my like teenage years. So I guess it's like the basics, isn't it? If you've got the foundation of like balance and learning, being like coachable maybe, I think they're all like transferable skills to like CrossFit now. But yeah, I've just always really like immersed myself in sport at school, whether it's athletics or netball or whatever. I don't like shy away from doing stuff. So I was like in CrossFit watching people do like end themselves on the floor. I was like, wow, that's something I could do.
I think like it's really important as a coach. I think it's really obvious if you have a group of like beginner athletes with you in a class who's done sport and who hasn't done sport, because like the people that have, like, even though figure skating and rugby like are not, in my opinion, rugby's probably more related to CrossFit in the fact that it's like a strength power sport. I play rugby, so I'm probably a bit biased. Figure skating though, probably in like a bit more of like the gymnastics world where like it's balance, like proprioception, like knowing where your body is in time and space. And like if you can do that kind of stuff, teaching someone who has knowledge where their body moves already can probably learn a kipping pull-up and a toaster bar and a snatch to clean much easier, because you already have high levels of like coordination and you know, if you can, I don't know, were you doing like fucking 360s and stuff like that?
Yeah, like spins and stuff, I think what's interesting is like in certain things, like you said, totally, like your body round a bar muscle up and things like that, but the like base strength for doing pull-ups, like snatches, anything like that, like when I say I was a noodle, like my nickname in the family
she was the noodle,
is Noodle, because I was 55 kilos wet through, like straight up, straight down. I don't think I was an ounce of body fat on me. I remember getting my first ever strict pull-up in the garden during that like lockdown period. So really like the way my body shape has changed doing CrossFit and putting on muscle and not being like afraid to put on muscle, I think is really like what's helped going into CrossFit and putting the weight on and kilos on my lifts and stuff. Because before I didn't need any strength in anything I was doing.
What's your rough body weight now?
I'm about 65 kilos.
Okay, so like 10 kilos up since when you started. Nice. And then you obviously started CrossFit here in the garden. Then we did our, what gym did you join a gym after that?
Yeah,
when
so
the world opened back up.
I'd like dropped into Eccleshall at the time, which is where I go now. With Tash, because our sister trained there a lot. So and I remember my first ever session there. The workout of the day was Karen.
Oh God, first session.
My first ever drop in. And I'm fully traumatized by this story. Like I remember being in class. I had a 3 kilo wall ball.
Class.
It took me 11 minutes.
That's
I
so
was
good.
the last person to finish, and like now I know that it's normal in CrossFit for like everyone to come in and cheer you on to finish and like get behind you, and I was absolutely mortified that everyone was crowded around me doing it, and I vowed to never go back to the gym ever again. After that I did.
But then turned up again like next week.
Yeah, I was like, got a taste for it, and I was like, So yeah, but that was a big eye-opener for me.
Do you know what? I think as your first benchmark workout, Karen might be the worst.
The worst one, yeah. It just never ends.
Yeah,
it never ends.
There's no like, it's not like, you know, if you're doing like a Cindy or like rounds of a workout, you kind of, let's say you hate push-ups, you get a break when you're doing the air squats, and like Karen's just like throwing that ball over and over again.
It's awful. I think I had DOMs for weeks.
And then obviously we started here in the COVID in the garden, joined actual CrossFit, and then at some point you must have enjoyed it enough to get like your coaching qualifications, right?
Yeah. So it was probably around the time where, so as a pharmacist you do 4 years at uni, and you have a year where you're basically like a trainee pharmacist.
In hospitals,
so you're like paid a little bit less, you're not fully on the register yet, you've got a big exam to do before you fully qualify. And it was in that year where I was sort of like, I've been doing CrossFit for about 6 months, I'm really enjoying it, and I had this like thirst for like, I want to know why we're doing this, like what are the like things like the bar muscle up and stuff. I could see that there's building blocks that I need to do before I get there, and I wanted to just know what they were. So I ended up doing my PT level 3 qualification then, and that's where it sort of came into the project we were working on. Because people who don't, I guess, know, early days, we started a little fitness program called 8 Week Lean, which was basically like a fat loss program.
It was actually like my first ever foray into like online coaching was, was it 8 Week Lean or Lean and 8? I can't remember. It was a very inventive title. It was the 8 week fat loss course, and we ran maybe like 4 or 5 of them. And for me, it was the first time I was like, oh, like this online thing like does work, and they were like the building blocks into strength season now. But yeah, so you got your level 3. We started working on like 8 week lean and some fat loss stuff, and then you obviously got your CrossFit and weightlifting qualifications as well. Yeah,
and I think like doing the fat loss stuff, although you know it's not necessarily our CrossFit niche now, it's so like the fundamentals from that about like calories and like fueling properly and even like feeding into comp strategies now was so important to do, and like the knowledge that we gained from doing that and working with loads of different people, different like parts of the population, I think only adds more strings to the bow sort of thing. So it was definitely like that period of time where I just started developing like the fitness knowledge, I guess.
And so there's like you as the newbie in CrossFit getting your qualifications. At what point? Because obviously now Sara qualified for semi-finals this year, right, guys? So technically, this is the top 1% worldwide CrossFit athlete, Sara Farm right here. Okay. At what point were you like, oh, I like this enough to do as like a sport, and it's not like a thing you're just doing to gain strength and confidence in the gym?
Oh, I hate to say this because I like really advocate about enjoying things and like don't like doing things because you enjoy them. And I do. I'm saying this because I enjoy it, but I'm a fucking competitive person, right? It's when you're from a big family. I've got 4 siblings. I'm a twin. My whole life has been a competition, right? So starting CrossFit and any sport really I've ever done, I always have that competitive edge. Like whether it's going against you, like in a gym workout that we randomly do, or having like a goal like the Open where you're competing against the whole wide world. That's just so motivating to me.
That's not a bad thing, right?
No.
I think like there's like a bad competitive side, which is like win at all costs, and that like the worst version of that is, and I've been to gyms that do it where like the standards are shit, like people not squatting to depth and people entering scores that are like cheating effectively or riding the line of is that a rep or no rep. And there's a good competitive edge, right? Which is like me and you throughout the year. We did like a series this year, like against each other in quarterfinals. But we were both saying that us going head to head in workouts got us both better scores. Because if I was in my gym and you were in your gym, just doing it by ourselves in the corner or just not against each other, there's nothing like on the line. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah,
Like that's
definitely.
the good version of competing is when someone else pushes you to get a better score because you're competing in a good way, and the bad
Yeah.
version of competing is like hurt yourself, win at all costs, cut
Yeah.
rep short,
Yeah.
rep shave, etc.
Yeah.
And there's a danger that competing gets to both, but
And it's not to say like, I mean, my first ever competition within CrossFit was at like a local gym.
yeah,
We ended up doing it as a pair.
Yeah.
And you know, even just looking back to that comp, so many things get like cramp. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
learn so much so early on. But in CrossFit, because it's scaled intermediate, RX, elite, you're constantly chasing being in the next best category or having that next best movement, and like starting even at, I think it was the Chase Games or CrossFit.
yeah, it was
maybe?
OSP.
Yeah, Chase Games. It gives you the taste to then go, oh, I'm looking at comps like Sid or
Yeah.
like a graft event and going, yeah, I want to do that and I want to
So
do
I've
it.
got a question for you then, as this is something that I get a lot from athletes, and I answer one way, but I'd love to know your perspective. I get a lot of people thinking they're like not ready to compete. Like, oh, I want to compete, but I just don't feel ready. I want to compete, but I don't feel good enough. What would you say to that person that says that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if I waited till I felt ready, I would have never done a single CrossFit comp in my life.
Yeah.
So it's just you ripping the plaster off.
Yeah.
From the
Jumping
get-go.
the deep end, right?
100%.
This is what I say. And the beauty of the category system, scaled intermediate RX elite, is that you don't have to be ready. Like there's categories for you no matter what level you're on the sport.
Yeah.
Like granted, if it's your day one you've walked to a CrossFit gym, like you probably need to do like 6 months of classes just to understand what the movements are.
Yeah.
But the beauty of the sport is that it's scalable for all abilities.
Yeah.
Like I have athletes that come to me saying like, you know, every so often I'll be like, hey, here's this local competition. I know it's really good. Like let's try and get a good representation of athletes there. And people, oh, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm fit. And I'm just like, I've never felt ready for a competition.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you always think that there's stuff you can do better. And the nature of CrossFit is that it attracts like type A personalities that want to achieve like, or are always looking at the next thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what I say. I'm like, you're literally never ever going to feel ready to compete.
100%.
We just have to do it. What's your, this is a question for later, but we're talking about competing now. What's the best competition you've ever done?
Ooh, like indie or any?
Either, give us both, one for both.
So, as a group comp, Sid Origins is just unrivaled.
R.I.P. Sid Origins, bring it back.
Yeah, it needs to come
Whoever's
back.
stopping Sid,
The
bring it back.
12-man team, there's just nothing like it. Like the organisation that takes and
Oh yeah, crazy.
Mega. I'm actually a big fan of Sid. Like Sid's one of my favourite indie comps as well.
UK champs.
UK champs, yeah. I've done that a few times now and just really enjoyed like the vast, I guess, scale of things like swimming and running and.
I think Sid Origins is so unique because there's just nothing
and
like
in
it.
Birmingham.
Yeah,
Like stay in your own bed,
we're local
guys.
to Birmingham here, so. But I think Sid Origins is so unique in that like there's just not another competition like it.
No.
Like we did a team of 4 competition and yesterday it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But there are hundreds of team of 4
Yeah.
competitions. There's hundreds of indie competitions, but
I think
team of 12
yeah,
is a challenge,
unique.
isn't it?
And I think District L needs an honourable mention too.
So I've actually never done District L.
Oh, so I did it for the first time this year. So
I've only
good.
heard good things.
Yeah, and in the sun, in the lakes, there is nothing like it. Being outside.
Because it's
It's
like
much more,
paddleboard, running in
functional.
hills, log stuff, right?
Worm we actually had this
Did you?
year.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just really different in that like you don't get to. I mean, we don't have a lake nearby that we can go paddleboarding on. So just doing stuff like that as a 6-man team was really, really fun. So that's a big one I'd recommend if you haven't done it before.
I think this is one of the reasons that I always like champion like Marbella because I'm not good at swimming or running. Like they're the 2 things that I'm bad at in CrossFit, right? If I designed a CrossFit comp, it would be like lots of barbell, heavy lifts, like ergs, like kind of CrossFit type stuff. But I like Marbella because it gets you out your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So a team of 12 Sid Origins, you're out your comfort zone. There's loads of tactics involved. District L, like paddleboarding and running up hills and trails, you're out your comfort zone. And Marbella, like that sea swim and that run at midday up some Spanish mountain when you're gonna get a heat stroke is like terrible for me on the leaderboard. Like, but it's the thing where I'm like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like in a box in the Midlands somewhere, like just doing a normal workout. I'm like running up a Spanish mountain carrying a sandbag, and it's just cool, right?
And I think that's the same with any like abroad comp. I've done in the past. Like I don't think it really, whether it's Marbella or like Barcelona, just being in the sun, in a team
Yeah.
or on your own, doing like weird, wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
That's like the beauty of CrossFit. Like
Yeah, it's like
traveling and
you can travel with the sport. So I guess like for
Yeah.
you, obviously, I learned the basics here, went to actual CrossFit and got hammered by Karen at 3 kilos.
God.
Then got your qualifications, found the love for it, competed, and have now competed abroad. And then yeah, made semi-finals this year.
That it's still crazy to think, that
Cool though.
it's
But you
all
didn't have a
come
chance to do the workouts because holiday?
Yeah,
Wedding
so
planning?
wedding, yeah. It was our honeymoon weekend that the semi-finals took place. So we did actually try and like research if there was any.
I mean, it's a lot, isn't it?
CrossFit
Loads of
gyms.
workouts in a few days.
Yeah.
It's the judging
It's the
situation,
judge-
right?
Yeah,
Is
you
it
have to have
two
a floor
judges?
judge and a head judge,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. If I'd been
You're asking,
in the UK,
yeah, you're asking like people in another country at a gym
Yeah.
you're dropping into like give all their time to you just
yeah,
to film some
100%.
workouts.
So yeah, I'd have loved to have given them like a go, but yeah, just to be in the pool was
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, unreal. And then obviously you're outside of trying to be a full-time athlete, which obviously you're not, by the way. Pharmacy, mental health, like
Yeah.
what like attracted you to that as like a career, as a job?
Yeah, so pharmacy is just really broad. Like, I guess people, if you thought of a pharmacy, you should probably think of like Boots
Yeah.
on the high street or
Paracetamol, ibuprofen.
yeah. And I just knew in uni that I wanted to work in hospital. All my placements were in hospital. I ended up working in like a big acute trust, just doing like rotating around surgery and just
So
all
different sectors of
specialities,
pharmacy, yeah?
And then with 8-week lean, I ended up dropping a day, so I ended up working 4 days in pharmacy and 1 day in fitness, and that's sort of a split that I want to keep going into the future. But mental health is an interesting one because our dad actually works in mental health, so there's always been that sort of relatability at home where it's talked about and we see a lot of it, hear a lot about it. And then I guess my own sort of mental health struggles as like a teenager going into uni, I found that transition quite difficult. I ended up actually going on to antidepressants around that period of time and just feeling so like let down by the system. There just wasn't enough of a bridge. It was like, here, have some antidepressants and no follow-up, no how you doing,
yeah.
no. I was like taking them like sweets. Like if you, with what the knowledge I have now, back then, if you'd have seen me, I'd have been like cursing this child, like, what are you doing? Like on particularly bad days, I'd take more of them. Like binge drinking alcohol, being at uni is difficult anyway, but like the cocktail of things just was not a good mix. And sort of coming out of that, the other side, finding fitness, that was such a pull for me, I guess, out of my like sort of dark place.
Yeah.
And I guess graduating, qualifying, because during uni I thought it was like, was this even for me?
Yeah.
And then it's just you need to find like your area of pharmacy, and mine was mental health. Like when I moved into specialise in mental health, I got my prescribing, which I did in psychosis, which is quite niche. But helping people and being able to like bridge the gap that I guess I didn't have when I was like in that dark place is like such a driver for like why I want to keep my hand in mental health and why I find it so, and the overlap between like fitness and mental health is like so huge.
And we'll come on to that later, but I think it's really funny how like my experience is similar to yours, like very different, but like the reason that I run Strength Season as an online coaching company is because I remember being that like intermediate low level RX athlete, like not knowing how the fuck do I string together big sets of ring bar muscle ups, how do I learn to handstand walk, how do I add kilos, and I fucked around so much. Like I've done CrossFit for nearly 15 years now, and like probably wasted so much time adamantly not hiring a coach and like trying to take bits from different programs. But the parallel is, it's funny how your career has panned out because you were trying to like if old you would have come to you now as a patient,
like,
you're
fix the
like,
problem
right,
I had,
I went through this lived experience of this problem and I want to fix it, which is obviously a much more important thing than my thing, which was just I was trying to fuck around in CrossFit. But now the thing is, I try and help people that are in the same position as me. So it's funny how that kind of comes a bit full circle, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But one thing you touched on is that just the physical and mental health being so intertwined.
Yeah.
And maybe we're like have a different experience here because, as Sara said, our dad's a psychiatrist, so not very into fitness, but obviously, obviously the mental health thing was obviously it's not something that was shied away from in our household. But physical mental health being intertwined. What's your like thoughts on that? Because obviously it's so important for you now.
Yeah.
But I guess you weren't doing much physical training and anything for your physical health back when you were on antidepressants and going through like a bit of a tough time?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Like it's
Didn't have an outlet that fitness gives you.
Fitness came like after,
Mm-hmm.
and really was like a part of like rebuilding
Yeah.
what my life, I guess, that had sort of fallen apart would look like, and piecing things back together. And fitness was just such a, like you said, outlet for me, especially like people who have gone through like loss and grief. Like I had a personal loss like around the age of sort of 20,
Which is so young, right?
which is so young.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's particularly like when you've not had like a big family member loss, like a grandparent or
Yeah.
something at like a younger age. I think that sort of hit me really hard at that. And I guess in that transitional period, you know, everything's changing.
Yeah,
your
going to
support
uni,
period,
so much
support
happening at once.
network changes and stuff. And I've learned so much now about like genetics of mental health, and we have quite a extensive history on our parents' sides of like suicide and depression and postnatal depression. And I think that's a conversation that was really like normalized in our house. Like our parents would talk about their, you know, siblings and people who sadly took their lives in our household, and in their households, and that made it easier for me to talk about with like my parents, and really like sort of helped with that journey for me. So I think that's why now, 10 years on, I'm in a position where like I can talk about things like this so openly, whereas 10 years ago I'd have been like, lock it up, throw away the key, didn't happen, can't like front on. And like obviously that's part of like just the general healing journey, but it translates so much into like when a workout gets hard, like what are you like in your head, like between the ears, and that matters so much like outside the gym. It like whatever you say to yourself feeds into your workout.
100%.
You can't kind of be like in the gym, I'm this person when I train, and be a different person when you're not. It has to feed into like every facet of your life, and that's sort of what I spoke about at the strength season meetup. I did a presentation there about mental health and mental fitness, and it really is like the gym is 1 hour where you can practice it, but it matters so much more about the other 23 hours in the day and how you speak to yourself. And
100%. There's a really like it's similar but not directly related. But there's a really famous quote by like Rich Froning where he says like, well, there's two. I think it's Greg Glassman that said the biggest physical adaptation takes place between the ears.
Yeah.
So like training is a vehicle for you to deal with things better in your head, and like you getting strong in the gym and doing hard things is because it has better. It's not just you get a bigger snatch or you can do a new skill. It's like you improve your mental game and like your headspace. And the second one is Rich Froning said that mental toughness isn't one of the 10 physical skills, but it should be.
Yeah.
And I think that because obviously the physical skills are like power, strength, accuracy, endurance. And she says, Rich said that, mental toughness should be one of the 10 physical skills. And I remember that quote and I was like, completely agree.
No, I completely agree with that. And I guess I have like that in my job role now. I have that big exposure to people who I work in secondary care, so hospitalised patients, and often you're hospitalised because you're deemed to be at risk to yourself or others. That's like one of the criteria.
Yeah.
So I see really extreme cases like on a day-to-day basis of depression, schizophrenia, suicide, risk, the lot. So I guess I sort having that exposure can make you a little bit like numb to things.
Yeah.
But for me, it's done the complete opposite. I'm like the person that if someone says jump, I'm like, like I'll always be the first in. I'll always have the conversation. I'll always reach out to anyone who I think needs to have like a chat or like I think it's like a hyper awareness now.
Yeah.
But
I think as well,
not a
fitness
bad
is like
thing.
it's like a barrier to like bad mental health. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're someone that regularly participates in health and fitness, and also it doesn't have to be CrossFit. Like obviously
it's a preventative
yeah,
factor,
that's the word I'm looking
protective
for.
factor,
We're like a big advocates of CrossFit and fit and thing like that. My real like mental state has changed throughout the years. Been like I used to be so diehard, like you should do high intensity, constantly very functional movements. And that's the only thing that's good. But now if someone, if the choice of someone is to sit on the sofa and watch rom-coms or get into the gym and do Zumba for an hour, like that's better than
yeah,
not doing anything,
100%.
right?
It's so much more about movement. Like I obviously love CrossFit, but if you love ballet, sick, off you go.
Doesn't
like
matter.
It's just moving.
Even if it's high rocks, guys.
Yeah.
Even if it's high rocks.
I think that's like interesting when we're talking about like perspective changes, because this year I've sort of taken a step back from like intense programming,
Yes.
individualized programming, done a lot more. I guess not like what I want when I want, because I've got the knowledge. I like follow a structure of weightlifting, gymnastics, and fitness. But I guess taking the pressure away from necessarily like you must do an hour and a half session to get better, and it hasn't impacted my performance. Has been like a really interesting like eye opener. And doing
so
things.
you had your best finish this year in quarters and made semis.
Yeah.
Taking like your foot off the gas.
Yeah.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's like a lesson in itself, right?
Yeah.
Because what we do is really hard, and the people like, because there's so much to get better at in CrossFit, and CrossFit is really greedy. We're trying to get better at weightlifting and gymnastics and fitness, and then within those categories there are 100 subcategories. The first thing that people think they need to do to get better is more.
Yeah.
It's
double
more.
days.
I need to do double days. I need to do triple day. I need to do class in the morning and then 3 hours of open gym in the evening. And a lot of it is just junk volume.
100%.
So I think it's a really good message, the fact that like you dropping a bit more of that competitive program stuff, doing more of like your own thing and refinding your enjoyment in the sport is like less burnout, more enjoyment. Therefore, the knock-on effect is you have better sessions when you're in the gym, as opposed to doing 20 hours of shit training, or you being so fatigued and so under recovered that you can't push. You're doing, let's say, half the volume of like every training session is good and valuable. You're getting better faster, right?
It ebbs and flows. Like this year, I've got married, we've moved house, all these things that like are big life
loads of big life events.
And like something has to give. So I either go to the gym and it becomes like a place where I actually like don't want to go, it isn't my vice, or I switch my perspective and go, what can I do, and enjoy those sessions rather than force myself to hit 6 90-minute sessions, which I just don't have the capacity for. So it's like having that conversation with your coach and saying like, look, right now this is my capacity, this is what I can do, and switching things up when you've got these big life events or big changes happening, versus being like, no, I'm going to push through this, and then that's just a recipe for.
You only have
injury.
so much like mental capacity for it, and that's a really good point. Just for anyone that has a coach, right, is that communication is key. Like I want my athletes to. I'd rather someone told me that Amir, I've had a week where it's been a week from hell. I can't get as much done. I only have less sessions to do, and not think of shit. I need to make it up by doing double next week. It's like no, let's pull things back. You can't pour from an empty cup, can you?
Yeah, 100%.
You need
and then like having that conversation allows you to go, what is the most important sessions for me to do? And highlight the weaknesses that maybe I have to work on more regularly, versus things that like I can probably not bar muscle up for a couple of weeks and it's not going to ruin my progression. And having that conversation, and I guess like
just be open and honest.
Just being like,
I think this is like a little bit of a segue onto like longevity in the sport, because like, how long have you done CrossFit for?
This will be my 6th year.
6th year? Well, was COVID 2020? Yeah, 6th year. I'm on like 14, 15, but like the key to longevity in the sport is that you need to know your own body and know when to push and pull back because like if you did a full-time competitive programming forever, you see so many athletes these days that like the group of athletes that I came up with and were competing with has dwindled so much. So many of them have gone to do other things, and that's fine if they want to do Ironman or high rocks or running, or like fell out love with the sport of CrossFit. And I think it's because of that burnout thing.
Yeah.
I think it's because you push so hard to compete in the sport, they've reached the edge of their ability where they need to probably pull back or change things up or, you know, do something a little bit different, and they haven't. They've experienced the negative sides of it and left the sport because of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
more people need to know that, like, you have the ability to, like, I always use, like, the spinning plates analogy. Like, it's like
Yeah.
a magician or a juggler, like, spinning loads of plates, and at some point, if you don't put some down, they're just going to break, right?
Yeah.
And the normal thing for me is I work with a lot of scaled and intermediate athletes who need to get stronger, who are then killing themselves doing loads of classes, loads of metcons. I'm like, temporarily, let's just do slightly less conditioning, slightly less classes, and it's not none, it's just reduce that volume of high heart rate, 180 BPM, lying on the floor dead,
Yeah.
do more structured strength sessions,
Yeah.
and I guarantee you improve, and we have like a near 100% record in getting people stronger than
Yeah.
actually in a jerk. So
It's that like eat the frog analogy where it's like if you had 3 tasks in the day that if you completed the day would be successful and you wrote them down the night before, they might be, you know, like one's work related, one's family related, one's like fitness related.
Mhm.
You do the hardest one first, or the one that's going to take the most mental load, that's like eating the frog.
Yeah.
And then having those micro sized things to do,
Mhm.
it might be like spend 10 minutes with the kids or whatever.
Mhm.
You can take them off and go, actually, yeah, that day's been pretty successful.
Mhm.
And that's something that like I use in practice in
Yeah.
my work, mental health side, that I take into fitness, because the capacity that day might literally be spend 10 minutes with my partner or
Yeah.
eat together, or what.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be massive things, but making you feel like you've had a successful day
Mhm.
helps, I think, the mental load side of it when it is
Yeah.
busy and you've got a million things that you
Exactly,
need
and
to
I think like the one that sticks out to me is always like, again, I'm butchering these quotes. I don't know who exactly say it. It's like if your capacity today is only 40% and you give 40%, then you've given your max for that day.
do. Yeah.
As opposed to trying to be like, oh, but you know, previously I've hit this 10 kilos more than this weight, but I'm just not feeling it today.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just meet your body where it's at, and you know, I think the people think like a robot. Like they think like, oh, I've done this massive PB or this skill or this workout in this time, so I should just be able to repeat it exactly again or exceed it. And we're not robots.
No.
There's so much more going on in our lives that you can't just repeat your activities. You need to just meet your body where it's at, right?
Yeah.
Very briefly then, you touched on weight gain. So like going from being what's a thin version of a noodle? You're like a spaghetti noodle.
Not a vermicelli noodle.
The udon noodle.
Yeah.
Right now, it's thick. How's that been? Because weight gain, I obviously spoke with Kanisha last week about weight gain in CrossFit, and I'm not a female athlete, so I think you have a different perspective as a guy, because like media, and especially in like the 90s, 2000s, is like, a little bit is like look lean, look jacked, like Men's Health, but more of it is like muscle gain and gaining weight, where females is like size 0 and models, and you know, being like skinny is in. So how have you found like that weight gain journey and like eating more through CrossFit?
Yeah, I think like the best thing about CrossFit and being around like the women that I have been around in the gym is that like being strong is like the cool thing to do. And like it's not about what you look like, it's about what you like, what are you lifting and how strong you are, and having that like being surrounded by these people who I like really look up to, who are so strong. I'm like, I want to do that, I want to be strong like that. So yeah, definitely clothes have changed, and like things that I wear have probably changed, but it's like a new level of confidence. It's like I can do move weights that I couldn't move 3 years ago, and like the mindset isn't around, you know, what size clothes I'm in. It's around like how cool is it that I can snatch this or
all the stuff you can do in the gym.
Jerk this, and chasing like the highs of like there's nothing better than being at like an athlete day, doing a max lift and PBing. Like there's literally, I'm like frothing at the mouth. Like it is the best feeling.
And that's the fucking thing you remember, not like, oh, I dieted down to like look good in a bikini in summer. Like that, you're like, fucking hell, remember that time when I hit that PB clean and did well at that competition,
100%.
hit that big set of barbering muscle ups, whatever.
Like,
it's
also
not like
who you surround yourself with, and like like your coach versus like your partner. No one in my immediate circle has ever turned to me and gone, oh, you're looking a bit jacked, or like, look at them biceps in like a derogatory way.
in a bad way.
Yeah, it's always like, wow, you're so strong, that's like amazing. And like, that's the message that I try. Like my friends who don't do CrossFit, I try and relay to them, like, it's really important to eat. Like my friends, when we go on holiday, like my girl group might not eat breakfast, but for me, I absolutely have to eat breakfast.
Yeah.
I might not be training that day, but at 6:30, like, I'm ravenous, and if no one else is going for breakfast, I'm cool. Like, I'll own it. Like, I'm gonna go for breakfast and like come back after, and like, you've just got to do you, like, so unapologetically, and like, that's, I think, what CrossFit has like sort of taught me.
I think what you surround yourself with the right people is massive.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I think CrossFit really celebrates
All shapes,
obviously
and
strong
sizes,
women, right?
and, yeah. All like body weights are like accepted and.
Oh, pardon me. Right, we're gonna wrap up. Rapid fire questions. Really quick answer.
Oh God.
First one that comes to mind: gymnastics or weightlifting?
Oh, gymnastics.
No, just so wrong. Clean or snatch?
Clean.
Correct. There aren't right or wrong answers. I'm just giving my opinion on them as well. Ring or bar muscle up?
A bar.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. Favorite CrossFit workout?
It's Cindy, I think.
Really?
Yeah, just like a chipper, turn off, get it done. I wish, to be fair, if I could make my own one and call it Sara, it would be like bar muscle ups.
Okay.
It would be some form of like dumbbell, single arm, of course. Dumbbell clean and jerk.
Okay.
Or actually switch that. Let's do a clean ladder. Clean ladder,
Okay.
bar muscle ups. That would be my jam.
So you do X bar muscle ups and then you do some cleans, but the cleans get heavier.
Cleans get heavier, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
That would be Sara's
Benchmark workout Sara, everyone.
Yeah.
Favorite we talked on this earlier, but favorite CrossFit comp you ever done?
Yeah, probably Indy. It would be Sid. UK champs. Yeah.
Favorite post competition meal?
Favourite post-competition meal? Okay, so classic for me, we do tend to always do a Nando's. That's just like a family. We always go to Nando's as like a little team trip. But I love a chippy.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Well, our view is skewed because the world's best chip shop, guys,
yeah.
is about 50 metres down the road from my parents' house. No Salt Fish Bar.
Oh,
If you don't know, get to know.
know.
Unreal.
Every Friday,
Yeah.
just a childhood.
I've had fish and chips, right? I've lived in Cardiff, Leeds, Glasgow, Birmingham. I've had fish and chips elsewhere, and I'm still like, not as good as No Salt.
Nothing beats it,
Nothing
no.
beats it.
No. So yeah, probably chippy.
Shout out No Salt
Specifically
Fish
this
Bar.
one. Yeah.
If we get a sponsorship, that'd be a dream sponsor, wouldn't it? Cool. And the last thing then, if everyone listening could improve one thing about their, like, let's go mental fitness, that will cross over to the physical, oh my God, what would you tell them?
Oh, I would say something like we put so much time into like our physical fitness, so time in the gym, time training, and like even working on nutrition and all the variables, but something that's so overlooked is that time that you spend on your mental wellness. And spending 10 minutes, like sounds cheesy, but like journaling. There's a great TED talk about like power poses, and it says that your mind can change your body, but can your body change your mind? And it's about how people go like into interview scenarios, and like 5 minutes before the interview, they'll go to the toilet and do these power poses in the mirror. So like hands on their hip, or like when someone's just finished a race, their hands are above their head. And it sounds cheesy, but like go into your bathroom or into the gym bathroom before you do a big lift and just spend like a couple of minutes like speaking positively to yourself, putting your body in those power positions, like feeling strong. I think it really does show you that your body also has the impact to change your mind. So doing the lifts, doing the thing, practicing the positive talk, I think will translate so much into going to the gym and feeling better and feeling good in yourself.
Because that's just like the physical version of visualization, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Like before you do
a
big lift or a gymnastics skill, you think about it in your head, right? You envision yourself making it not like, oh my God, what if it goes wrong? You vision like the positives. And I guess power posing is that same thing, right? It's visualizing positive feelings, positive emotions, so you go into it with the right mindset, right?
Yeah, and the flip side of that is if you're not feeling like you've got the capacity, completely fine, don't do the power pose, like reach out, tell your coach, adjust. Like, don't feel like you have to be the 100% performer every day. Like, you don't, it ebbs and flows, and like the changes are transient, and there are people that can support you with that, whether it be your coach or GP or pharmacist.
Amazing. Where can people find you on social media?
I am at the Fit Pharmacist with 2 underscores on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok.
I'm really surprised at Facebook then.
Yeah, they're all the same handle now.
Yeah, you're just giving away like, I was going to say you're old, but I'm old, so I'm surprised you led with Facebook.
You know,
Find me on TikTok.
TikTok,
Right.
yeah. You don't have TikTok, do you?
Absolutely not.
We'll get him on TikTok, guys.
No.
Next thing.
No one wants that. Cool. Thanks for coming on.
No problems, babes.